Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb back at it. Returning to the lineup after missing the last 3 games with an ankle injury. Didn't take him long to make an impact here in a divisional matchup against the Commanders. Mid-first quarter, Dak
blown coverage.
Drops the throw.
Oh, my goodness.
They're all blown coverages when it's 8-8. A playmaker.
That's not a good sign right there when you just see 2 wide receivers by the end zone with no defenders.
Backpedaling in.
Doing karaoke into the end zone as Prescott finds Lamb. And we're back at it. Cowboys up 17-8, just under a minute left in the second quarter. Prescott to George Pickens. How about that 1-2 punch?
And a bucket.
No question.
CD, Pickens, Dak spinning it. Pickens finished with 4 for 82. Did not find the end zone. You know who did?
Fergie.
Ferg.
Okay.
In again. You were dance. Cowboys up 27-15 at half. One of 2 touchdowns from Ferguson on the day. Jaden Daniels trying to get the offense back out of the break. It's caught up, and the accrual of injury becomes concern here as treated for a hamstring injury.
It didn't look good.
Did not return to the game. Marcus Mariota in for Jaden on his first drive. Flushed. Looking downfield.
Throw it away.
Trying to make something happen.
No.
Making a mistake. Deron Bland, 6 the other way. 68 yards to the house. Cowboys go on to win this one, 44-22. Their 3rd game with 40-plus points this season, leading the NFL. A big-time win in division. Maybe a loss within the loss here for the Commanders as they continue to deal with injury issue to their star quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Back in studio with the fellas. I want to get to the Daniel news in just a bit here, Jonathan, but let's start with the Cowboys guys and what they were able to do offensively in this one. The dynamic duo back in the fold with Pickens really picking up the slack in the absence of CD, but you get them both out there. Dak playing the way he is right now. Hard team to stop, Mac.
Yes. Looking at the numbers, Dak Prescott, 264, 3 touchdowns. Javonte Williams, 116, 1 rushing touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 118 yards through the air. George Pickens, 82 yards. Fergie, 2 receiving touchdowns. This is a high-level offense in terms of the playmakers. They were already doing video game-like numbers without CD. Now you get CD back in the fold. They just become better. And see, the issue that I was having, guys, with the Dallas Cowboys defensively, with their high-powered offense, you just got to get 4 stops a game.
Yeah.
That's it. Just get 4 stops. And guess what they did? They got 4. At least 4 today. That's what they need to do because their offense, regardless of who they're going against, guys, they have so many stars. They will provide numbers. It's just up to the defense, Logan, just to get at least 4 stops for them to be in a position that they were in today and winning. And, oh, by the way, when you look at the NFC East in totality, this division is wide open.
Put it in the blender.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to do what you're going to get when you put it in the blender. But that's the life they're living now in the NFC East. And if you're Dallas Cowboys fans, you got to like your chances.
Mac, I'm glad you pivot the offensive thought here to the defensive side of the ball because, Logan, we know what the Cowboys offense to this point is going to present us. Despite who's out there from a personnel standpoint, 22 points for this defense is a win.
It absolutely is a win. And it's because, in my opinion, I'm going to pivot right back to you, Moose. It's CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
I played against this fit. I played against Dak. I played against CD. He is the emotional player for them, right? And injuries, let me put it like this. Injuries aren't always the worst thing for a team because this CeeDee Lamb injury early in the year, it got George Pickens involved. It got Ferguson involved. Now with CeeDee Lamb back, the other players' confidence is up. But don't get it twisted. CeeDee Lamb's the #1 option for Dak Prescott. With him and George Pickens on the field at the same time, it's going to be hard to outscore the Dallas Cowboys.
You love when juice can translate from one side of the ball to the other, and it felt like a team feeding off of one another, defense to offense in this one. The news on Jaden Daniels dealing with a hamstring, JJ. What's the latest that we know, and how much of a level of concern should there be with the accrual of injury throughout this season?
So I think there has to be a level of concern for Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders and his hamstring, and here's why. He got ruled out in that game in the 3rd quarter when the game, while it ultimately became out of reach, was still within reach. We know that hamstrings, not one hamstring is ever created equally. Some guys don't miss a game. Some guys go on injured reserve and have season-ending surgery. We're probably not talking about the extreme. I hope that we understand what I mean by that is when you don't go back into a game that can still be won by your team, that would indicate a level of severity where at least the next week has to be in question. And I think that we remember from last year, Jaden Daniels had the ribs, and he came back and he played through that. But this year he had the knee. And that knee and his legs are so essential to what he does as a quarterback in the NFL that if you again have an injury to the lower part of your body, the hamstring, essential to him, got to look to maybe start Marcus Mariota next week.
It looks to take away that +1 effect in the run game, rendered a little less effective here, and again, left the game, did not return an uphill climb for Washington as they drop back-to-back games against Chicago and now Dallas, and the latest in division. Prescott, career at home against the Commanders, little issue, never lost. Morning. I'm back with the fellas here in our HQ studios to set the stage for all that will be Niners and Falcons. Mac, eyes go to these two-star running backs here. Dual threats both in their own right. George Kittle is a plus, a minus for San Francisco in the loss of Fred Warner. Total sum of the parts, what's stealing your attention right now?
The running back matchup, you just highlighted two of the high-level prolific running backs.
Most versatile.
Most versatile. And they really resemble each other in terms of their style of play. It's not just about running in between the tackles, but their ability to create separation when they're running routes. And then when they get the football in their hands, at any given time, they can take a yard to the length of the house. So, and coming off what Bijan did last week against Buffalo, I mean, if you're San Francisco without Fred Warner, you need to know exactly where he is at all times. And one thing that I'm starting to witness with their offense, they're bringing Tyler Algier in along with Bijan Robinson and using Bijan as a decoy, and it really helped them in terms of running downhill against the Buffalo Bills. So this is going to be a high-level offensive performance coming from those two said running backs.
Pre-snap, Logan, what do guys like that do to a defense? When you're looking at a CMC or a Bijan that are so adept at catching the football and making guys miss in space, the numbers game outside, it really benefits nobody defensively.
It's the best player getting the ball more ways. Go back to high school football. Toss left, toss right. We got to stop that guy number one, and he gets the ball 40 times.
Yeah.
That's how they find ways to get it for Christian. That's how they find ways to get it with Bijan. They don't have to come off the field. They can come in and they can stay in two-back sets. They can run routes. You can put another back in to pass protect. Both of them can pass protect. They can run the ball inside the tackles. They can run the ball outside the tackles. So you're truly just giving the ball, as simply it is, to your best player. The more they can do is more ways you can give them the ball. And you know once they catch it, they can run after the catch. And now they're running through DBs. They're not have to run through D linemen, right? So they find ways to get the ball to space. They're both teams' number one options, right? And I think that's a cool, unique matchup to see running backs, which they tried to value running backs. See two of the best running backs at it in prime time.
The center of gravity at the center of this game. Hard to knock either of those guys off their footing, JJ. We're looking at an Atlanta team that's extremely comfortable in prime time already this year. We're looking at a San Francisco team that continues to overcome attrition. What do you see when you put these two on the same field?
I think that injuries are beginning to mount for San Francisco, and I think that you're going to see it tonight against a good team like the Atlanta Falcons that's trying to learn how to take that next step, right? We saw them take that step against the Buffalo Bills. They need to continue that in primetime against the San Francisco 49ers. I think that the loss of Fred Warner, we're really about to see how detrimental that is to a San Francisco 49ers team that was lacking in edge rush help to begin with. Fred Warner covered up a lot of blemishes for a depleted San Francisco defense. Now you lose him, the best in the world at his position. You don't get better, you get worse. And that's what I see on that side of the football. On the other side, I see an Atlanta Falcons defense that plays single high safety more than any other team in the NFL by a large margin. So that says that they're going to come out here and say, all right, Mac Jones, beat us with your arm. We know that you want to get the ball to Christian McCaffrey, so they're already keying in. That's their bread and butter, right? They're already going to key in on trying to handle that. What they are concerned about is making sure that the quarterback, if you want to try to beat me down the field, go ahead. And with that pass rush that the Falcons have shown this year, and that's the first time I've been able to say pass rush and the Falcons in the same sentence in a decade, good luck to Mac Jones tonight.
They lose a big part of this defense in Fred Warner, obviously, getting maybe the Fred Warner of their offense back, that spirit, that heart in George Kittle. What does the addition of Kittle do for this offense that continues to do the little things right? Ranking top 5 in the NFL in third down conversion, the defense getting off the field on third down as well. But Kittle's addition tonight means what, Logan?
Yeah, I played with these guys. I played with George and Fred. So I'll tell you what, with George, exactly what you talked about. You want to play one-on-one matchups, go have fun doing that with George Kittle. Because he can annihilate you in the run game, and then in the pass game, he's a tough cover. So I don't know how Atlanta wanted to play George Kittle, but in the pass game, he is absolutely the Niners' number one option. They want to get the ball to Christian number one. The plays are drawn up for Kittle number two. I've been there. I've been in those meeting rooms. Some of the receivers don't get happy about that, but George Kittle is that guy in the pass game. He gets the ball in crucial situations down the field.
George is the energy guy for their team. Just his ability to be in uniform, it boosts the morale of the entire team. Not to mention they're dealing with a slew of injuries at the wide receiver position. So now you add another legit playmaker to help in terms of the passing game for your backup quarterback in Mac Jones. And don't sleep on his ability to be impactful in the running game, because when he gets his hands, his paws locked on you in blocking, good luck, because usually you're going to hit the turf in a way that you do not want to hit the turf. So he's just the energy guy, man. He's the glue guy for their offense, and he's fired up. And Mac Jones, I know he's extremely elated to have George Kittle back in the lineup.
JJ, I know in league circles, how you say it is almost as important as what you say to others. I'm interested in how people talk about the San Francisco 49ers, their ability to overcome attrition in a way that many other teams can't. What do you attribute that to, and how impressed is the rest of the league at their ability to keep stacking wins despite all those losses?
Yeah, I think we've said +1 a couple of times today. Like, you have a head coach who's a +1 in Kyle Shanahan. You have a really good front office that has backfilled in a lot of really great ways, and it's been out of necessity because the Niners, more than most teams, have to pay their superstars, right? We talk every July and August about somebody new is holding out there in San Francisco because they're looking for a new market-setting deal. Well, that means that you have to go bargain shopping. And the Niners have been comfortable doing that for some time, as well as they've had big draft misses. And they've also had some big draft hits, of course, Trey Lance to the Brock Purdy's and whatnot. So I guess what I'm saying is that even when they have the attrition, they have the guys because they've been practicing in July and August in training camp, because the guys weren't there